It's not just pastors that have a spiritual component to their job. And it's not just youth ministers, or it's not just when you're leading a Bible study or when you're getting started. Those are needed and necessary, but it's not the only people who get to play, I guess, spiritually, so to speak. And so some things God brings to us because he wants to shape us. Sometimes he wants to shape others around us. And sometimes he just wants us to be his voice and wants us to partner with him. In Acts chapter 16, this is where Paul and Silas were preaching and they got arrested. And in verse 25 it says, "At midnight, Paul and Silas were praying and singing hymns of praise to God, and the prisoners were listening to them." So where were they? They're in prison. They're in jail. And what are they doing? Man, this is ridiculous. I thought we were serving God. What are we doing in here? This is, where did we mess up? No, not at all. They're sitting there saying, well, okay, look, we were serving God, honoring him, and look where we ended up. And they're sitting there worshiping and singing and praying. And people are listening. God spoke in this jailer's heart, and he just came to them and said, what do I need to do to be saved? And God used just their worship, their life, in how they were handling that situation to convict the jailer. They partnered with God, and they just honored him where they were at. But God won't waste anything, and we got to come to him. He will waste nothing. Nothing is arbitrary about your work, about your life, the situations you find yourself in. God wants to use them. He won't waste them. He will make you more like him. He will represent himself through you, be his voice. Take the pressure off yourself. Plant the seeds. The life is in the seed. The words you're planting, the life is in there. You just be faithful to plant it, and God will make it grow. And this is the ministry that you have, and the blessing and what you get to do in partnering with the Lord in life, and in work. And we spend a lot of time at work, a lot of time. Why would God want to waste that time?
Man, I know what it's like going to the same place every day over and over and over, and dealing with the same people over and over and over. There is grace in that. God will give you grace in that. Be able to give an answer, That's why we got to study this word. When we study the word and understand the word, there comes opportunity. God will put all kinds of opportunity. And it may come in the form of somebody that's sat in a wheelchair. It may come in the form of somebody crying, And we've got the answer. We have this Bible that says that whatever you ask, I'll do for you. But really, in all honesty, God said, if you seek me and my kingdom, my righteousness, you'll never have a need I won't meet. That's simple. So I've learned I don't ask my papa for things. I don't need things. What I ask my papa for is souls. The very thing that Jesus came and died for. So everybody you're working around, they've got issues, they got problems just like we do. But they don't have an answer. So I would encourage you, look for those opportunities. It's really, how far do you want to go with this? How bold do you want to be? Are you willing to take that step? Do you want God to heal you? Do you know Jesus? Do you need a miracle? That's the God we serve. But I would encourage you, my brothers and my sisters, take the step. Be bold. Let them notice. Let them perceive. Man, these guys have been with Jesus. But we have great opportunity. We really do. And we can show forth God's love. And how all this really does operate is that we learn to love. Paul said the greatest of these is love. Faith, hope, and love, and the greatest is love. And so then it starts operating in a whole nother level. So again, we have a great responsibility. And the beauty of it, there is no condemnation to us on Christ. Like I said, this is this great experiment. It's hard to tell what's going to go down. But I do know we have the ability to deal with it. Whatever God puts in front of your path, you have the ability to deal with it. Otherwise, he would not put that in front of your path.